Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Nishit Kumar and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Government to hold the sixth round of talks with farmers' unions in a short while from now. President Ramnath Kovind says Digital India initiative should continue to strive towards reducing the digital divide. In Kashmir Valley, 3 terrorists killed in encounter with security forces in Hokarsar area of Srinagar. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 95.99%. And government extends temporary suspension of flights to and from the UK till the 7th of next month. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. The union government will hold the 6th round of talks with farmers' unions in a short while from now. The government has invited the farmers' unions for talks to end the impasse over the 3 farm laws. This will be the 6th round of talks between the government and farmers to end the deadlock. The centre has written to the 40 farmers' unions and invited them for talks. Apart from the farm laws, discussions will be held on MSP and on legislations related to air quality and electricity. The government has reiterated that it is committed to finding a logical solution on all relevant issues raised by the farmers with a clear intention and an open mind. While flagging off the 100th Kisan Rail from Sangola in Maharashtra to Shalimar in West Bengal, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had said that his government's policies are clear and intentions transparent in reforming the agriculture sector. He asserted that the NDA government will continue to work to strengthen farmers and agri-sector with full force and dedication. President Ramnath Kovind today said that Digital India initiative of the government should continue to strive towards reducing the digital divide. He said a large segment of the population is still not able to derive the benefits of the digital services.
Technology is going to be a key enabler in that journey in the days to come. India has been at the forefront in implementing and adopting modern technologies in different sectors and at all levels of governance. We have to keep challenging ourselves to deliver innovative solutions to improve the ease of living for all citizens.
Mr. Kovind said the number of such people needs to be minimized by extending digital access to them through effective innovations. He, however, said India utilized the corona pandemic crisis as an opportunity to march ahead in various arenas. Conferring the Digital India Awards 2020 through video conferencing, Mr. Kovind said it was possible only because the digital infrastructure has been strengthened in recent years.
The year 2020 has been the year of COVID-19. The year is about to end now, and let us hope the pandemic will also end soon. It will not be an overstatement to say that the coronavirus has changed the world in terms of social relations, economic activities, healthcare, education, and several other aspects of life. Yet, life has not come to a standstill, thanks largely to information and communication technology.
The President expressed happiness that from the judiciary to telemedicine, scores of sectors switched to the virtual mode.
The digital infrastructure has been strengthened in recent years. Education continued without a break as most institutions started offering lessons online. From the judiciary to telemedicine, scores of sectors switched to the virtual mode. For the government too, information technology was one of the most crucial tools to deliver a variety of services to citizens and keep the wheels of the economy turning.
Mr. Kovind said technology and ICT-driven innovative solutions must be leveraged to aid economic inclusiveness and social transformation even in the remotest corners of the country. The President also called for exploring innovative solutions for the functioning of the government offices in paperless and contactless mode for security and benefit of every citizen. He said that NIC has been running many technology-driven initiatives for making interaction between the government and citizens seamless and hassle-free. Hailing the role of digital warriors, the President said they helped the country overcome challenges posed by the pandemic. He said proactive implementation of platforms such as Arogya Setu, e-office and video conferencing services backed by a robust ICT infrastructure has helped the country reduce the pandemic hardships. In line with Digital India's vision, this is the first time that the entire process of the Digital India Awards is being conducted online, from nominations to screening to the final awards ceremony. National Informatics Centre under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has been conducting the biennial Digital India Awards to promote innovation in e-governance and digital transformation of government service delivery mechanism.
The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached to 95.99%. During the last 24 hours, more than 26,000 COVID patients have recovered. Health Ministry said the total number of recoveries has gone up to over 98,34,000. The actual caseload currently comprises only 2.56% of the total positive cases. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is around 2,62,000. During the past 24 hours, 20,550 new cases were reported, taking the total number of positive cases in the country to over 1 crore 2 lakh. Currently, India's case fatality rate is at 1.45%, which is one of the lowest globally. During the last 24 hours, 286 deaths were reported, taking the toll to 1,48,439. The country has crossed another milestone in terms of COVID testing. With testing of over 11,20,000 COVID samples in the last 24 hours, the cumulative testing figure surpassed the 17 crore mark. According to Indian Council of Medical Research, so far, over 17 crore 9 lakh samples have been tested across the country. A total of 20 persons have been found in the country with the mutant variant of SARS-CoV-2 virus reported from UK. These include the 6 persons reported earlier, 3 in Nimhans, Bengaluru, 2 in CCMB, Hyderabad, and 1 in NIV, Pune. Health Ministry said 107 samples were tested in the 10 labs to detect the virus. Government has constituted the INSA-CoG Indian SARS-CoV-2 Genomics Consortium, comprising 10 labs for genome sequencing. The ministry said the situation is under careful watch and regular advice has been provided to the states for enhanced surveillance, containment, testing and dispatch of samples to the INSA-CoG labs.
Karnataka Health and Medical Education Minister Dr. K. Sudhakar has informed that 3 persons in Bengaluru and 4 in Shivamogga were tested positive for the new variant of COVID virus. Speaking to media in Bengaluru today, he said out of 27 UK returnees who turned positive, 7 were found with the new variant of the virus. More from our correspondent.
The Health Minister has said that the new guidelines announced by the central government to deal with the new strain of virus will be followed in the state. On tracing primary and secondary contacts of the positive COVID patients who returned from UK, the Minister informed that out of 39 contacts traced in Bengaluru, none were found positive, and in Shivamogga, out of 7 contacts traced, 3 were found positive. The genome sequencing of positive persons is being done. All the COVID positive patients are kept in institutional isolation. Meanwhile, the Primary Education Minister Suresh Kumar visited schools and colleges today to oversee arrangements for starting the classes for 10th and 12th standard students from January 1st. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
In Punjab, the COVID positivity rate is coming down gradually. 215 COVID positive cases were reported yesterday, while 377 COVID patients were discharged from various hospitals and home quarantine, and 11 COVID patients lost their lives. The total number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 reported so far has risen to 1,65,868, out of which 1,56,719 patients have been cured. A total of 5,322 deaths have been reported till date. As on date, 3,837 COVID patients are under treatment in the state.
In Bihar, COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 97.58%. So far, 2.46 lakh COVID-19 patients have recovered from the pandemic. According to the State Health Bulletin, the number of active cases is also declining, and now it stands at 4,708. In the past 24 hours, 622 new cases have been reported across the state. With this, the total number of COVID-19 cases in the state so far rose to around 2.53 lakh. To keep the new strain of coronavirus at bay, the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, has instructed the concerned officials to take every necessary step to control the transmission. State government has decided to take help of genome sequencing to identify the new strain of the coronavirus that has been found in the people who have returned from United Kingdom recently. Till date, at least 10 persons have been found COVID positive who had just returned from the United Kingdom. More from our Lucknow correspondent.
Principal Secretary Health Alok Kumar said that all those who came in contact with these positive persons are also being identified and tested for corona. A strict adherence of COVID protocol is being ensured by these people. Alok Kumar said that number of COVID positive patients are continuously decreasing in state and there are now less than 15,000 active COVID cases in state. Meanwhile, the Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has instructed the COVID hospitals to ensure arrangements of necessary equipment required for testing of new strains of coronavirus. Chief Minister also urged the public to follow the precautions needed to stay safe. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Rajasthan has been reporting less than 1,000 fresh cases of COVID-19 for the last 4 days. The number of active cases has also come down to around 10,000. Our correspondent reports that with the 626 new cases reported yesterday, the total number of infected people has gone up to 3,06,784. More from our Jaipur correspondent.
The number of new infections in 19 districts of the state remained less than 10. The COVID impact has also reduced sharply in Jaipur and Jodhpur, which have been worst affected due to the infection. Now, less than 200 cases in Jaipur, while less than 100 cases are being reported in Jodhpur. The number of active patients has also reduced in both the districts. There are less than 500 active cases in 24 districts of the state, while active cases in 5 districts are limited to 100. More than 2,93,000 people have recovered from the infection so far. At the same time, 2,683 people died due to the infection. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
The COVID positivity rate reduced below 3% in Madhya Pradesh. The positivity rate has been declining consistently in the state and it was 2.9% yesterday. So far, more than 2,26,000 patients have recovered from COVID infection in the state. 28,807 tests were conducted, out of which 853 turned out to be COVID positive. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
As per Health Bulletin of the State Department, 1,122 patients recovered yesterday. The number of new cases remained below 10 in 29 districts of the state. No new case has been reported in Anuppur. Districts of Dindori and Burhanpur also reports no new case for third consecutive day. Maximum COVID positive case continues to register at Indore, followed by Bhopal. Gwalior reports 35 new positive cases. With 10 patients succumbing to the infection, the death toll rose to 3,582. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Maharashtra government has further extended the lockdown restrictions till 31st January 2021. The state government issued an order in this regard today. It has already issued the guidelines and SOPs for the celebration of New Year in the backdrop of the new strain of coronavirus found in UK. Health Minister Rajesh Tope said that no patient has been found with the traces of the new strain in Maharashtra till date, and the government is strictly monitoring the travellers who arrive from the UK and other European countries. A report.
Although there were speculations about the easing of the restrictions in the new year, the state government has become more vigilant due to the emergence of new variant of coronavirus in UK, and some of the travellers were found positive with the new strain after arriving from UK in different parts of the country. It has already put restrictions on the New Year celebrations and issued guidelines for the tourists visiting various tourist attractions in the state. Some district administrations, including Satara, have imposed night curfew to avoid the crowding during midnight celebration tomorrow. Meanwhile, State Health Minister Rajesh Tope has assured that there is no patient in Maharashtra with the traces of new variant of coronavirus. But at the same time, he has also appealed the travellers already arrived from European countries to come forward and undergo the health checkups to avoid the spread of new strain of coronavirus in the state. Shailesh Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Tripura, the number of recovery in COVID-19 cases is gradually on the rise and the number of active caseload is also dropping. As of today, the number of active cases has dropped down to 126. So far in the state, 32,712 patients have been cured out of the total 33,246 positive cases recorded. In Mizoram, the number of active cases COVID-19 has dropped down to 103. As the recovery of COVID-19 related patients is on the rise, the recovery rate is improved to 97.49% as of today. In the past 24 hours, 9 new cases tested positive, while 17 patients recovered from the coronavirus infection. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Government to hold the 6th round of talks with farmers' unions in a short while from now. President Ramnath Kovind says Digital India initiative should continue to strive towards reducing the digital divide. In Kashmir Valley, 3 terrorists killed in encounter with security forces in Hokarsar area of Srinagar. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 95.99%, and government extends temporary suspension of flights to and from the UK till the 7th of next month. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back. The Union Health Ministry has said that the dry run for COVID-19 vaccination has been successfully conducted in 4 states yesterday. The 2-day end-to-end dry run was undertaken in Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh, Rajkot and Gandhinagar in Gujarat, Ludhiana and Shahid Bhagat Singh Nagar in Punjab, and Sonitpur and Nalbari districts of Assam. The exercise is aimed at identifying challenges and making required changes in the plan so that the final process becomes foolproof. The ministry said specific teams were formed for various tasks by the district administration, and activities like uploading of dummy beneficiaries' data, vaccine allocation, communication vaccination details to vaccinators and beneficiary mobilization were carried out. Talking to News Services Division of All India Radio, health expert Dr. Narendra Saini, former Secretary General, Indian Medical Association, has said that our country has sufficient storage facility with cold storage and also has good transport with distribution network.
ड्राई रन करना एक अच्छी शुरुआत है और इससे जो भी सीख मिलेगी तो हम जब एक्चुअल वैक्सीनेशन आएगा उसमें अपनाएंगे. वैक्सीनेशन के साथ जो प्रोसेस जुड़ा होता है कि एक वैक्सीनेशन का फैक्ट्री में बनना, जहां पर प्रयोगशाला में बनेगा, वहां से उसका ट्रांसपोर्ट होना, ट्रांसपोर्ट के बाद उस जगह पे पहुंचाना जहां वैक्सीनेशन लगेगा, फिर उसके बाद उन लोगों का रजिस्ट्रेशन करना कि किन किन लोगों को लगना है, उसका रजिस्ट्रेशन कैसे हो, और उसके बाद वो वैक्सीनेशन वहां पे स्टोर कैसे हो, क्योंकि सबसे बड़ी बात वैक्सीनेशन में है टेम्परेचर की.
U.S. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris has received the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine, becoming the latest high-level official to do so as the incoming Biden administration seeks to instill confidence in the vaccination process. The Hill reported that the Vice President-elect received a dose of the Moderna vaccine on live television yesterday at United Medical Center in Southeast Washington, D.C.
Government had extended the temporary suspension of flights to and from the UK till 7th of January 2021. Informing this, Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said, thereafter strictly regulated resumption will take place, for which details will be announced shortly. Earlier, all flights originating from the UK to India were suspended till the 31st of this month. The Health Ministry has recommended to the Ministry of Civil Aviation the extension of the temporary suspension of flights originating from UK into India to be further extended till the 7th of January 2021. This has been recommended based on the inputs received from the Joint Monitoring Group JMG, headed by the Director General of Health Services DGHS, and the National Task Force jointly headed by DG, ICMR and Member Health Niti Aayog. The Union Health Secretary has written to all the states to keep a strict vigil on all events that could be potential super spreader events and to curb crowding in the wake of the New Year celebrations and various events associated with it, as well as ongoing winter season. In Kashmir Valley, 3 terrorists were killed in an ongoing encounter between terrorists and security forces in Hokarsar area on the outskirts of Srinagar. Police sources told AIR that 3 terrorists have been killed this morning in fresh exchange of firing between hiding terrorists and security forces. The identity of the slain terrorists is yet to be ascertained. Security forces had launched cordon and search operation in the area last evening on specific input about presence of terrorists. As searching party reached the targeted house, terrorists opened fire, triggering an encounter. The police sources said the operation was suspended in the night to avoid collateral damage. However, a cordon was strengthened to prevent terrorists from escaping. The operation was on when reports last came in. Talking to AI News Srinagar, IGP Vijay Kumar said,
कल शाम में श्रीनगर के आउटर स्टोर में पुलिस को इत्तला मिली था कि 3 मिलिटेंट का मूवमेंट है। पुलिस, आर्मी, सीआरपी जाके कॉर्डन डाला। कॉर्डन डालते ही फायरिंग शुरू हो गई और ये इनकाउंटर पूरा रात चला। अभी मॉर्निंग में 3 मिलिटेंट मारे गए और तीनों आतंकवादी का पहचान होना बाकी है। उसमें 2 पिस्टल और AK-47 ढेर सारा ग्रेनेड मिला है। उस एरिया में नॉर्मली मिलिटेंट का मूवमेंट होता है और इससे पहले 2 बार वहाँ पर सिक्योरिटी फोर्स और फायरिंग भी मिलिटेंट किया था, इसलिए हम लोग उस एरिया के पीछे सर्विलांस रखे हुए थे।
In Jammu and Kashmir, J&K police and army today recovered 2 pistols, 70 live pistol rounds and 2 grenades hidden in bushes near LOC in Dabe village of Balakot of Poonch district. AIR Jammu correspondent reports that the arms and ammunition were kept in bushes by terror handlers from Pakistan and have been recovered on the disclosure of 3 terrorist associates arrested by police on Sunday. SSP Poonch Ramesh Angral said that during questioning of arrested terrorist associate Yasin Khan, some vital clues on his confession were developed, after which a team of police along with army launched a search operation in Dabe area near LOC and recovered a consignment of arms and ammunition kept in a polythene bag in the bushes. Searches are going on in the area, the SSP said. In our special series Year Ender 2020 today, we bring you a report on micro, small and medium enterprises MSME. After coming to power in 2014, Narendra Modi government gave a special focus on the MSME sector. Launching the MSME support and outreach program in New Delhi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that MSME sector gives maximum employment after the agriculture sector. He said that the agriculture sector is the backbone of the economy. MSME sector is the strong step of the economy which gives power for progress.
ये हम भली भांति जानते हैं कि एमएसएमई या छोटे उद्योग हमारे देश में करोड़ों देशवासियों की रोजी रोटी का साधन, अर्थव्यवस्था में बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाते हैं। ये एमएसएमई कृषि के बाद रोजगार देने वाला दूसरा सबसे बड़ा सेक्टर है। खेती अगर भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था की रीढ़ है तो एमएसएमई उसके मजबूत कदम है जो देश की प्रगति को गति देने का काम। कढ़ाई बुनाई से लेकर दवाई तक, खेत खलिहान से लेकर खेल के मैदान तक, वस्त्र से लेकर के शस्त्र तक, ऊन से लेकर के ऊर्जा तक, ऐसे अनेक क्षेत्रों में लघु उद्योग हमेशा से अपना अहम योगदान देते रहे।
The Minister for MSME, Nitin Gadkari, said MSME sector contributes to 30% of the GDP and 48% to exports.
Presently, MSME is the most important sector for the country. I say it is the backbone of Indian economy. In Indian growth, GDP, 30% contribution of MSME is there. As far as the export is concerned, it is 48% from MSME. And up till now, 11 crore jobs which already created by MSME. Presently, we have our agriculture sector, the GDP, in which the contribution of agriculture sector is 16%. 22 to 24% is from manufacturing sector and 52 to 56% is from the service sector.
Our correspondent reports that the Ministry of MSME implements various schemes and programs for promotion and development of micro, small and medium enterprises throughout the country.
The schemes and programs includes Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program PMEGP, Scheme of Fund for Regeneration of Traditional Industries Purti, a scheme for promoting innovation in rural industry and entrepreneurship Aspire, Entrepreneurship and Skill Development Program, Credit Guarantee Fund Scheme for Micro and Small Enterprises, Credit Linked Capital Subsidy Technology Upgradation Scheme, Micro and Small Enterprises Cluster Development Program, and National Scheduled Caste Scheduled Tribe Hub. Under Atmanirbhar Bharat, government had announced a special economic and comprehensive package of 20 lakh crore rupees for all the sections of the society, including industries and MSMEs. Government has taken a number of initiatives to support the MSME sector in the country, which include 20,000 crore rupees subordinate debt for MSMEs, 3 lakh crore rupees collateral-free automatic loans for business, including MSMEs, new revised criteria for classification of MSMEs, new process of MSME registration competition through Udyam registration and no global tenders for procurement up to 200 crore rupees, which is helping the MSMEs. The Prime Minister has launched an online portal, Champions, which covers many aspects of e-governance, including grievance redressal and hand-holding of MSMEs. Government has notified Public Procurement Policy for Micro and Small Enterprises Order 2012 under MSMED Act. Under this policy, 25% of annual procurement by central ministries, departments, public sector enterprises has to be made from micro and small enterprises. This includes 4% of MSEs owned by SCs and STs and 3% from MSEs owned by women entrepreneurs. 358 items are reserved for exclusive procurement from MSEs. MSME Ministry has launched Samadhan portal to enable MSEs to directly register their cases on the portal relating to delayed payments by central ministries, departments or CPSEs or state government and other buyers. Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
As the year 2020 comes to close, All India Radio will broadcast a special program, 2020 की बात आकाशवाणी के साथ. It will have glimpses of the major events of the year gone by. The program will be broadcast today and tomorrow from 9:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. on FM Gold. It will also be available on AIR's YouTube channel, News on AIR Official, on Twitter at AIR News Alerts, the Facebook page, and as the podcast on newsonair.com.
2020 का ये गुजरता वर्ष क्या रहा खास? कौन अर्श पर तो कौन फर्श पर? सामाजिक, आर्थिक, वैश्विक और राजनीतिक पटल पर कौन सी घटनाओं ने अपनी छाप छोड़ी? वैश्विक कोरोना आपदा के बीच मनुष्य की जिंदा दिली की कहानी, आकाशवाणी की जुबानी. सुनिए विशेष कार्यक्रम 2020 की बात आकाशवाणी के साथ. 30 दिसंबर बुधवार को और 31 दिसंबर बृहस्पतिवार को रात्रि 9:30 बजे से 10 बजे आकाशवाणी 100.1 FM गोल्ड चैनल पर. यह कार्यक्रम आकाशवाणी के YouTube चैनल न्यूज ऑन AIR ऑफिशियल, AIR न्यूज अलर्ट्स ट्विटर, फेसबुक पेज और पॉडकास्ट पर भी सुना जा सकता है.
Centre has achieved remarkable achievement in terms of expanding access to electricity in the country. Despite a global pandemic, the nation registered nearly 28 million new power consumers in a short span of around 18 months. Speaking exclusively to AIR News, Union Power Minister and Minister of New and Renewable Energy, R.K. Singh said,
we added 28 million consumers in the 18 months. This was the largest expansion of access ever in the world in 18 months. And today, we have connected every home.
Now, let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital experienced moderate fog in the morning. Temperature will vary between 5 and 16 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have mainly clear sky. Temperature will vary between 17 and 30 degrees Celsius. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperature will hover between 24 and 30 degrees Celsius. Kolkata is expected to have mainly clear sky. The city will observe minimum temperature of 12 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 25 degrees. Srinagar will experience mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Temperature will hover between -2 and 8 degrees. In Jammu, the minimum temperature was 3 degrees, while the maximum will be 18 degrees. The city will have mainly clear sky. Leh will have mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was -15 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be -2. Gilgit will have mainly clear sky. The temperature will hover between -2 degrees to 13 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky. The temperature will move between 1 degree Celsius to 17 degrees. Dehradun is likely to have cold wave today. The temperature will hover between 5 and 20 degrees Celsius. Ahmedabad will witness clear sky. The minimum temperature will be 13 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be 23 degrees. Patna will have mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between 9 degrees to 24 degrees. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. 6th round of talks between government and farmers' unions begins. President Ramnath Kovind says Digital India initiative should continue to strive towards reducing the digital divide. In Kashmir Valley, 3 terrorists killed in encounter with security forces in Hokarsar area of Srinagar. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 95.99%. And government extends temporary suspension of flights to and from the UK till the 7th of next month. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the Midday News.